So what else? What are you getting phone calls about though at this point? Frantic clients.
That's the main thing. Yesterday was the corporate deadline for pass-through entities like S corps and LLCs, and it was business as usual. Extending people and getting them filed if they were done. Didn't have any particularly extra calls. This morning I got a number of calls regarding various things having to do with the deadlines, et cetera, and when to pay. It's funny that that's starting today. Everyone.
Right, the day after.
Yeah, the day after. But the pass-through entities don't have taxes due generally yesterday anyhow. So I think we're going to be okay. Our office is set up so that almost all of our employees can work from home as if they were sitting at their desks. We have staff in Florida and Utah who do that, and we anticipate that if we have to shut down, that's what we'll do. And we can also use Zoom and other means of getting data from our clients. We have a secure file portal for people to upload scans or pictures of their documents. So we don't anticipate that it's going to really slow things down if our customers want to go ahead and file timely, or at least know what they're going to owe.
And do you think, I mean, obviously, like you said, technology is allowing for all of this. If this goes on long enough, do we run into issues with that, with technology, with our cable providers, our internet providers?
Well, we talked about that yesterday. It's interesting. We talked a lot about it yesterday.
Yes.
And as if someone was listening, the bandwidth, and as if someone was listening to us, I was reading, there was an article today, it came out of the New York Times about the fact that America may not have enough bandwidth to handle the amount of people working from home and kids going to school at home and whatnot.
Well, and kids playing Minecraft is going to take up a lot of it.
Well, so another positive that could potentially come from this is that those providers do amp up, right, the capability for more bandwidth.
You would hope so.
Do you also think a byproduct might be that many brick and mortars discover that they can work more effectively?
I mean,
virtually?
They should have already discovered that by
Right.
now. It is
Well,
2020.
That's true.
But
I mean, I think there's interesting side effects to this. Is that so you have office buildings, and WeWorks came about when there were vacancies in offices, right? And they filled up those vacancies. What happens when people don't go to a shared office space? They work from home. So are you going to have now vacancies in offices? Do you need to be in an office? I mean, a lot of my colleagues have been closing down their offices and been setting up virtual offices for quite a while. So do you have a more commercial office space vacancies? And that then becomes another set of issues in commercial office space and the value of that space and their mortgages and notes and whatever. So there's a lot that can come out of this. There's a lot that can come out of this that we discussed, and I do think you're going to see a lot more people working from home and realizing that they don't spend, especially in Los Angeles, they don't spend 4 hours commuting.
Yes, no, I know my wife would be very happy about that. She loves her job, but not crazy about the commute. So tell us about your list, because I want to take a break, and when we come back, I'd love to hit that, because it sounded like there was a lot of important information as far as...
Yeah, we're going to go over this. I've got there's about 6 to 8 bullet points that we can go through about what people should be doing during these times, but I will say that these are things that people should be doing all the time.
Okay, but it's a financial list.
It is.
Yes. All right, so thank you all for joining us here for the continued coronavirus coverage. We've got Lou Espin, espinlaw.com, our attorney on site. We have our lovely Matt Denny, CPA, on site. So we'll see you in just a moment. This is Jason Downs here at KHTS, your hometown station.
Choosing the right copy service was a top priority for John Hayes, owner of Hayes Plumbing in Santa Clarita. John's glad he called Sean Milligan at Professional Copy Service.
Well, once we found Sean at Professional Copy Service, we've been very, very happy. We started using him right after our factory warranty had expired on the current copier that we had purchased, and Sean and his guys have been far and above better than the factory warranty service.
Professional Copy Service, 299-5756. 299-5756. The only authorized Canon dealer for sales and service in Santa Clarita for Santa Clarita. Professional Copy Service.
We try to keep everything we can in this valley. We shop local ourselves, and we try to use any local merchant as possibly can.
Call Sean Milligan at Professional Copy Service, 299-5756.
Call Professional Copy Service immediately. They'll save you a lot of time and get your office staff back up to full production.
Professional Copy Service, Santa Clarita's only authorized Canon office equipment dealership. Ask about our free on-site demos.
This is Bradley Gross from Santa Clarita Grocery. Santa Clarita Grocery serves fresh groceries to families, individuals, and those experiencing homelessness. At Santa Clarita Grocery, out of every dollar donated, a full 99 cents goes directly to the needs being addressed. As an all-volunteer-led organization, we operate on a 1% overhead, receiving no government funding for our operations in the community, resulting in us being one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. If you're looking to support the good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery. What is donated is specifically kept in the Santa Clarita Valley, helping over 3,000 families, including 5 other community charities. Please visit our website, santaclaritagrocery.org, or visit us on social media or call us at 425-7575. That's 425-7575.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
Your hometown station.
It can happen at any time. Breaking news in the Santa Clarita Valley. KHTS has you covered. Brush fires, emergency freeway closures, police activity. If it's happening in the SCV, we'll let you know about it with our breaking news coverage. Keep a channel preset to your hometown station, KHTS.
98.1 FM and AM 1220. Hometown.
I wanted to let you know that I really appreciate the way you guys do what you do.
Your hometown station.
And we're back with continued coronavirus coverage. This is Jason Downs. I am the host of Common Ground. I am also with Lou Espin, the co-host and sponsor of Common Ground. EspinLaw.com. When experience counts, count on experience.
Well, thank you very much, Jason.
And we're here with Matt Denny, CPA. What's the name of your company?
Denny and Company.
Denny
LLP.
and Company, okay. Denny and Company, LLP. So we've been talking financial advice, legal advice, tax advice during this coronavirus experience that we are all going through together. So Lou has a list here of recommendations during this time, and really any time, he said, but especially now. So let's hear what you got.
Yeah, I think this list is something that is applicable whether we are in this situation or not. This is the type of thing that you should have at the ready in any case. Especially we talk about earthquake preparedness. This is really what we're talking about here. For example, you should have at the ready the contact numbers for all of your creditors, right? So you should, if you know how to use a spreadsheet, use Google Docs or Excel or whatever. Create a spreadsheet, and in that spreadsheet, put down the names of all of your creditors. Put down the account numbers, and put down their contact numbers to call them. And what you should then do is contact your creditors and say, just like the other 7 billion people in the world, we are in this situation, and, what programs do you have available? I think that's a first step. And then what you always want to do is take notes. So, for example, if you have an Apple product, you've got the notes feature. However it is that you can keep notes, take notes. So you'd put down the name of the creditor, the day you called, get the name of the person, get the name that the person gives you, and take notes about what your conversation is. If at all possible, you get a fax number, okay? Because creditors do not email, they do not fax, and then our experience is they'll deny whatever they said, and you go, well, you recorded it, but those recordings never really exist, okay, when you need them. So if you have a conversation with a creditor and some type of agreement is made, hey, can I get your fax number? And you then send a confirming fax. This fax will confirm our conversation at this date in which we discuss the following, and this is what was agreed. And you send that fax. Okay? Now you have a paper trail. And that paper trail is then what you use should they not follow through on what they promise, because that is what is needed. And that very often is what people don't do. I talked to the bank and they said this and they said that. I go, what do you have in writing? Nothing. So you won't get something from them, but you send a fax, email even better if you can get one, confirming the conversation. Always confirm the conversation, the date, the time, and the purported person you spoke with, and that's how you would handle that. Okay? And so that's always a good thing to do. Then this is something that kind of goes back to what we discussed once before, the concept of like, want, need, and afford. You should have an emergency budget. You should kind of know what you need to cover, and that you'll cover those things. And traditionally, you're supposed to have 6 months of budget set aside, right? I would say that the vast majority of Americans, the other 99%, do not. So if you want to start doing something, this is a good time to start. You should set aside a budget, an emergency budget, and you should set aside 6 months. And how you do that is by following the like, want, need, and afford scenario that we discussed before. And I can go over again if you want. You want to do that again?
Well, I mean, yes. It's essentially asking yourself those 4 questions when it comes to any important purchases, or any purchases, I suppose. But especially now, when we need to think about everything a little more. But I mean, 6 months either way. Even if you are cutting out a few coffees and cutting out,
Really hard.
this purchase or that purchase. 6 months emergency, fund is really out of reach for a lot of people.
Yet that is what is recommended.
Yes, it's certainly ideal. It sounds wonderful.
Well, because if you lose your job, you're at risk. You have to figure your risk for 6 months. With this coronavirus, if you're a small business operator and you're a non-essential, all of a sudden you've lost income for 3 weeks. That's a lot. So
It's a lot.
it is a lot. So you really need to plan, and this is almost the cow is out of the barn, but these are concepts that people should embrace, and you do it in increments. You set aside a week. I got a week. You try another week. I got another week. So don't try to do everything at once. Do things incrementally. Because what people need to know is that they succeed. So people are motivated by success, right? So if you go back, let's
Give
say
yourself small goals.
give yourself small goals. Even like dealing with the creditors, you take one at a time, and you take the one with the lowest balance, and you work it so that you have these little bits of success, and then you can keep going. If you try to bite off more than you can chew, you're going to get frustrated. and you're not gonna do anything. So, create success for yourself when you're doing these things. Okay? Some people say that, if you need to, get a personal loan. Well, to me, personal loans are going to friends and family and borrowing money. But we're all in the same boat, so yeah, maybe there's not going to be as many people, friends and family around there who are going to be able to bail you out. So that's kind of a tough one. And I'm always reluctant to advise people. In fact, I advise people against it. Don't borrow your way out of debt. Okay? Don't borrow your way out of debt. And that's a kind of a funky saying.
Even to consolidate high interest credit cards into one lower.
Yeah, okay, here's what happens. You get a 0% card, and so you transfer from, what happens? Oh, that card has no money on it. So you need to control yourself. So if you transfer out of a high interest into a 0%, do not use that other card that has no money on it.
Cut it up.
Cut it up. Don't use it. Don't
close it.
Don't close it.
Right.
Just use it as a balance transfer and not.
But don't use that card that now has zero balance on. So I would really not recommend borrowing your way out of debt unless you can be disciplined and replace that higher interest card with a zero interest card and not use that higher interest card again. Shred it, cut it up, put it somewhere where you're not going to use it, but don't fool yourself and then start using it again, because then you're just going to compound the issue. And then that then leads to get credit cards at a lower rate. When you call your creditors, try to negotiate a low interest rate, some type of reprieve from the payments you may have. You should prepare what they call hardship letters. Okay. Well, I guess there should be a standard hardship letter. Dear so and so, I'm one of 7 billion people in the world. I'm in the front of the boat. It's a boat that has 7 billion people in it. So people say, get hardship letters. Okay, but you're in the same.
We're all in
the same boat together. I remember.
And supposedly these hardship letters would go to landlords and mortgage companies and creditors.
Yeah, and creditors. Yeah. Okay, so I guess you can do that. It's this paper trail that you're creating. It's interesting. I remember asking my dad, so what was it like growing up in the Depression? He says, I don't know. We were all poor. Right? So in this situation, it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic level is. We're all in this together. Yeah. And that's kind of what we tried to talk about yesterday. So hardship letters are kind of tough, but do a hardship letter. Look, you may be the person, the 2-wage earner household, and your business is closed. That's a hardship, right? Or maybe you're a family and you have a small business and it's a non-essential business, like Prema's business, and it's closed. Well, that's a hardship. And that's a different hardship than someone who is furloughed or is able to continue their business even though they're a non-essential business. Like, I don't think your business is essential. Matt, mine's not essential. It's essential to me.
Yeah.
And yours is essential to you.
They're not on the list of essential businesses, though?
No. But no. Lawyers are at the bottom of the list.
We'll let them wash out with the tide before everyone else.
Huh? Yeah. And then when all your rights are taken away, you'll say, where are the lawyers?
Where's my lawyer?
Yeah, where's my lawyer? Oh, well, I should have thought about that.
Really? Not essential?
No.
Tax, accountants, and attorneys?
No, there's no required to have it.
Doctors are essential.
Well, certainly.
Police, fire.
Certainly.
Right. Certainly. I would say that the radio station is essential.
Yeah.
Sure. I totally agree. Public.
As my father was a CPA for 50 years, and one of the things he said is there's no such thing as an accounting emergency. People think there is, but there really isn't.
No.
And so
Okay.
So one of the other things that came up on this list that I saw was, and the reason why I'm referring to this list is because this one I cannot agree with at all. And this says draw down on retirement savings. This is the
Whoa. Say that again.
this
Into the microphone.
okay. This media publication said draw down on retirement savings.
To pay for what?
Yes, that you should draw down your retirement savings so that you can manage your debt. Okay? This person, I'm going to say it, is an idiot. Okay? You do not draw down your retirement savings. Okay? You do not, repeat, do not draw down your retirement savings.
Who's your source on this, Lou? Who are we reading here?
Oh, this was from CNN.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you don't draw down your retirement savings. I will tee it up and Matt will finish. If you draw down your retirement savings before you are retirement age, you will be penalized significantly by the taxing authorities if you do so, Mr. Denny.
Yes, if you're 59 and a half years of age or less, not only do you have to pay state and federal tax on that qualified money that you took out, but you also have to pay a 10% penalty to the feds. I have a number of clients who took money out during the Grand Recession in 2008 and 9, and they're still paying off those taxes.
Well, and I have clients who are coming in
Ouch.
likewise, and we're doing Chapter 13 bankruptcy cases for them because they have the taxes to pay. And guess what? They no longer have the retirement savings.
Yeah. Well, and then on top of it all, the stock market's in such a position that when you withdraw that money from your IRA or your 401k, you're selling at a big discount.
Right.
And you have no chance to regain that money. So you're taking out.
So the message here is
Locking in
do
your
not
losses.
touch your retirement.
Do not touch your retirement.
Yep.
Do not touch your retirement.
Do not touch. As I would say, Jamie Dimon will not lose sleep because you've not paid your Chase card. But you will lose sleep if you do not have your retirement savings. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll put a big X through that
Terrible
recommendation.
advice. Terrible.
Well, it's
We
CNN.
gave good advice. This is terrible advice. Please heed our advice. Okay. I would agree with this one. Avoid payday loans. Okay. Do not be tempted by the mail you get that says you've been approved for a $50,000 loan, and the small print is the interest rate is astronomical.
Yep.
Do not get payday loans. Do not get car loan. What do they call them? Title loans.
Mhm.
Car
title loan.
Car title loans. Do not be tempted by the unsolicited offer that you can get a chunk of change by. Do not do that. Do not do that. Again, that is borrowing your way out of debt. Okay, borrowing your way out of debt. That is.
And it also doesn't meet your 4-question test either. Can you afford to do that? Absolutely no.
Correct.
Right? Because ultimately it costs you so much more.
It really
in the
does
long
come
run.
down to those 4 questions. Always. And the thing about borrowing your way out of debt. I read a statistic that there is something like $10 trillion of corporate debt in America. $3 trillion of which is distressed, which is a nice way of saying junk. And I read that there's this concept called we call them zombie loans, which are zombie loans are seconds that haven't been paid for years. People didn't think they need to pay them, and now they're coming back to foreclose. But now they're using this term zombie debt to refer to corporations that can't even pay the interest on their debt. And so there's something like $3 trillion of that zombie debt out there. And so what this whole coronavirus thing, really, if you kind of drill down on it, which Matt and I do, and Jason and I, you've done as well, if that debt begins to unravel, that's where we're going to really see a lot of issues. And I had the conversation I had with the client on the phone on the Zoom today was hunker down, be prepared, because if the rest of this debt does unravel, and a lot of the debt is in the travel industry and in oil, and those are the two hardest hit by this whole thing. They're already talking about bailouts. They're already talking about bailing out the airlines, right? Yeah. Already.
I heard an article on that last week, even the cruise lines and the airlines.
Right.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for the rest of us? So again, it goes back to people have to be individually responsible for their own financial well-being, and that when they are, what's the term? Self-contained? What are they calling it?
Shelter?
Oh, self-shelter. And you're with your kids. I think it's an important thing to go over these things with your kids, take the opportunity to educate them on how to be fiscally and financially responsible so that I never get that call.
All right. Well, we're going to take another break, and we'll come back with Lou Espin, espinlaw.com, and Mr. Matt Denny, accountant extraordinaire, and I'm Jason Downs here at KHTS, your hometown station, FM 98.1 and AM 1220.
Come see the beautiful new homes you've been waiting for. Luna, Hardy Homes' newest neighborhood at Skyline in Santa Clarita, will have its grand opening on Saturday, March 21st from noon to 3 p.m. Come out for tours of our gorgeous model homes and see the wide open spaces of Skyline, plus the rich amenities that are all part of life at Luna, with homes starting in the low 600s. Bring the kids for astronaut training camp and enjoy food, fun, and music. It's all happening on March 21st from noon to 3. RSVP now at partyhomes.com/LunaGO to save your spot.
The Art Gallery of Santa Clarita Artists Association, located in downtown Newhall on 6th Street between Railroad and Main, features local members' original artwork with changing exhibits every 2 months. Purchase affordable art for your home or as gifts. Open Friday through Sunday or by appointment. Artists wishing to join the SCAA can visit santaclaritaartist.org, come to our free monthly meetings at Barnes & Noble, or stop by the gallery. For upcoming shows, check us out at santaclaritaartist.org. We make visual art visible.
Today for lunch, why not try The Sandwich Shop, located on Avenue Stamford, right off Rye Canyon. The Sandwich Shop offers dozens of hot or cold, affordable, premium deli sandwiches. Gourmet soups and salads are also available. Regulars indulge in the cheesy focaccia rolls, which is a customer favorite. Then top it off with owner Charlie Chung's chunky chocolate chip cookies. Breakfast and catering is also available. The Sandwich Shop, since 1983, located on Avenue Stamford, right off Rye Canyon. ValenciaSandwichShop.com to place your order.
Hometown.
I wanted to let you know that I really appreciate the way you guys do what you do.
Your hometown station.
Hey, we're back. This is Jason Downs with continued coronavirus coverage. I'm here with Lou Espin, espinlaw.com, and Mr. Matt Denny, accountant, and we're just we're talking about some just good financial, sensible advice during this time, sensible at any time, and talking about what's happening with our taxes and the, I guess technically not an extension, we're calling it. What's the proper terminology for?
Well, they're extending the time to pay taxes for businesses and for individuals, and but not for filing yet.
Okay, so filing is still
Filing
is
is still
unchanged.
April 15th, unless you get an automatic 6-month extension, which is easy to do.
That's what most people do.
Yeah.
Most people automatically just get a 6-month extension? Really? So I've been missing out all of these years?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, well, so I guess if you're not me, then you're used to getting these extensions. But anyhow, so where would you recommend that they go? What's your contact?
call him.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What's your?
Well, sure. If you're in a position where you need to find out whether or not you should file timely or you should get an extension, et cetera, you can give our office a call, and we'll be happy to give advice.
Denny and
regarding
Company
your
LLP.
situation.
And what's the phone number?
The phone number is 661-286-8860, and our website is dennyllp.com.
There you go.
For more information.
And if you have issues, you want to go over these things with us, I'm esbenlaw.com, and we're reachable at 661-254-5050. And, we can arrange to have a video conference call with you. That'll work out well.
So both of you can
Absolutely.
easily
Absolutely.
conduct.
We are both reachable.
Okay, so on a more practical note, as we wrap things up here today, we've been hearing that we're encouraged to either get our food delivered from local restaurants or takeout. What do you guys think?
I like the personal touch, so I would call the restaurant. Hi, it's Lou Esben. How are you guys doing today? You're open, great. I'd like to order some takeout. Okay. And
So you're for takeout.
I would say, well, yeah, because you gotta get out of the house. So order takeout. Go to the restaurant. How are you doing? Connect with people.
At a 6 foot.
At a 6 foot, at a 6 foot distance. Yeah, what you do is
or 3 feet.
Take a hockey stick with you, so they can put the bag on the end of the hockey stick.
Right,
Because that's
right.
6 feet, and just reel it in. It's a new use.
We'll all be carrying hockey sticks around.
Or a lacrosse stick. Anything that has a lacrosse might be a good tool.
Another suggestion that I heard, if you want to support, local restaurants and local businesses, but you don't want to order takeout, you can order a gift card.
Right.
That will help with their cash flow. And then at a later date, you can come back and dine in. And that would be a great way to support our local restaurants.
That's a lovely idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea as well. But I would say, look, if you need to go to the market, be nice. Don't stand online and while the cashier is ringing you up, stay on your cell phone. Put the cell phone down. Say hello. Be civil. Ask how they are, because those people have their own stress. A lot of them been working longer hours. You got crazy people coming through. They have their own concerns. For God's sakes, how are you? How are you today? Ask people how they are. Check in with how people are. That's so easy.
Spread around that civility and
Absolutely.
And like we've been talking about, we're taking care of each other.
Right.
That's a way that we can take care of each other. And especially if what happens in San Francisco happens here, that will be considered an essential business. If I read the list correctly,
Yes.
they'll keep supermarkets open and whatnot.
And
those,
pharmacies.
And those folks will still be there.
Right.
And that,
Right.
I'm sure, will be a source of anxiety for some.
And that's a point that that comes up with the earthquake. Make sure you have enough meds.
Well, actually, that's something that I have here too. Absolutely.
Especially tranquilizers.
For your pets or for your
Speaking of which, we drove
or
by.
for yourself.
There was the outdoor sporting goods place next to Hobby Lobby and Office Max on Bouquet. There was a line out the door, and Prima says, "What are they online for?" Guns and ammunition.
Oh. So they're looking farther down the line, I guess, and complete
Well,
anarchy and people breaking into their homes.
By the time their background check and 10-day waiting period's up, we'll be back in business.
We should be. Yeah.
Things will be back.
But
to-
when you said tranquilizers, I
Yeah.
kind of brought that.
But as you know, Jerry Sarati Goldman here at KHTS and her husband, they've been through quite an ordeal from the very beginning of this coronavirus adventure, and she actually has compiled a list, and prescriptions you mentioned are a huge one. So we're recommending that you kind of get out there and take care of these things now, in the next day, in the next 2 days. Do you have a pool? That's something else that came up. If so, whether you have a pool man or not, stock up on chlorine is another recommendation they made. Prescriptions for pets and for people. If you're planning on bunking with another family or other family members, or any kind of travel that you're planning on doing, they're recommending that you go ahead and do that now, in the next day or two.
You have also cat litter.
Cat litter, for sure. Yeah, don't want to be without cat litter.
Right.
Another recommendation: keep your gas tank half full. They're saying. I heard that in relation to earthquakes as well, like you were saying, that Californians tend to keep their tanks relatively like above a quarter of a tank, at least. I'm coming from the East Coast. I never heard
Well,
that.
if they've been through that before.
Yeah, we
they
always
do.
keep it above a half.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. No. I've only recently heard that in regards to earthquake preparation. So yes, I'll take that to heart. Keep trash outside. So it's possible that trash pickup could become an issue. So think about that.
Make sure your propane tanks are full for your barbecue.
Exactly. Yes. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I have my propane tank full.
And try to remember that, you don't have to have toilet paper. We used to have cloth diapers when I was raising babies, and we washed them out. We had a washing machine, and
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
don't
And
panic on
you can also use your shower as a bidet, for goodness sake.
Well,
Worst case.
we
Not
bought-
even worst case. You'd be cleaner. if
Well,
you
and like
did
the
that.
issue with paper towels, right? So we bought a bag of rags.
Sure.
From Home Depot. Just use them, wash them, use them, wash them. Come
Yeah.
on.
Smart. Okay, so last couple minutes here. Throw out your old food to clean out your fridge and freezer. Good time to do that. Call your mortgage companies, as Lou has already pointed out, and your credit card companies. Do not touch your retirement, as we've pointed out. Think about mail delivery. That could stop for a little while. Reschedule all your appointments for the next month, basically, month out. Supplements. Do you need diet supplements? Start eating smarter now. Use this as a good reason to start thinking about that. Exercise each day. Stretch each day. Start yoga, for goodness sake. And also, as we've said, be nice to each other.
Who said meditate? I liked that one yesterday.
yeah, that's great.
Meditate.
I said meditate. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, meditate. I've got a whole list of fun ones that we started to talk about yesterday, but anyhow, we'll start with those for now. We'll be back again, I'm sure. This is Jason Downs. I'm here with Lou Espin, espinlaw.com, our esteemed attorney on site. Here with Matt Denny, our esteemed accountant, and we're here for you. So hang in there, and we'll see you next time right here on KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220.